In this video, we're going to pick up with quadratic functions and their graphs, and we're going to look at this quadratic function that is in the ax squared plus bx plus c form, which is also known as standard form. And we talked about this at the beginning, but we're going to actually be able to figure out some things from this quadratic function now. And that's for any quadratic function of this form. Remember that a value still tells us whether it opens up or whether it opens down. But now we can find the vertex by finding negative b divided by 2a. So negative b divided by 2a helps us figure out the x-coordinate of the vertex. And if we plug that back into the function, we can figure out what the y-coordinate of that vertex point is, or f of that negative b over 2a. Okay, so then again, the same steps are still going to apply if we want to graph it. The first one is determine if it opens up or down. The second one is find the vertex. And it's a little bit perhaps more tricky because it's not just pick it out of the equation, but you can do it. It's not too terribly challenging if you remember the negative b over 2a, and then we plug that back in to find the y value. Finding the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts are just the same. And then again, we're going to plot them all with a smooth curve, which will make our parabola. So now we're going to try it. First things first, ax squared plus bx plus c, does this open up or does it open down? You don't have to even write it out, but it's a good thing to pay attention to and remind yourself. This a value is negative, so in this case it's going to open down. Now we're going to find that vertex by finding negative b over 2a. So this is negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. So negative 4 over negative 2, which is 2. That's my x-coordinate of my vertex. It's going to be 2 comma something. Well, in order to figure out what that something is, I have to plug in 2 to my function. So I'm going to say, what is f of 2? Well, that is negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 1. Well, negative 2 squared is 4, so this becomes negative 4 plus 8 plus 1. Well, negative 4 plus 8 is 4 plus 1, which is 5. So my vertex is the point 2, 5. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. 2 and then 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. My axis of symmetry then is x equals 2. It's always still just the x-coordinate of the vertex. I'll put that on there, but not till after I find these other points. X-intercepts, those exist if I set it equal to 0. So 0 equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and solve this using my quadratic formula because I'm not initially seeing that I can graph this. So that's fine. Factor it. If you could factor it, do it. That's fine. So a is negative 1. B is 4, C is 1. Okay, so x equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times 1, all over 2 times a, which is negative 1. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of, this gives me 16 plus 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. All over negative 2. I am going to have decimal approximations here, but in this case, that's totally fine because I need to actually be able to get them onto the graph. So, the first one I'm going to do is negative 4 plus the square root of 20. Okay, so, and I'm just typing them into my calculator here. Negative 4 plus the square root of 20, and then divide that by negative 2. And I get a really small negative 0.24. I'll go ahead and round to 4. And then the other one I'm going to do is negative 4 minus the square root of 20. And then we're going to divide by the negative 2. I messed up that. Negative 4 minus the square root of 20. Divide by negative 2, and I get x equals 4.24. 4.24. So if I put those on my graph, well, let's see, 4.24. So there's 2, 4, 4.24 is going to be a little bit bigger than 4, so it's about there. And negative 0.24 is going to be just past my my y-axis there, negative 0.24. Okay, it's not perfect, but that's fine. You can do it. Now I'm going to find my y-intercept, which means I'm going to plug in f of 0. So I get negative 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 1. Well, this is helpful. 0 plus 0 plus 1. So that's the point 0, comma 1. We're going to put that on our graph as well. 0, comma 1, and that's right here. So then I also know that just based off of symmetry, this point here would also be on my graph. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it now. Remember, it's opening down, which you can tell by where the points are. Just do your best to make it into a curve and not a straight line. And then I can go back and I can add the axis of symmetry, which looks like that. So that's how we go ahead and graph a quadratic function if it's in standard form by using the negative b over 2a to find our vertex. That's all for this one. We'll see you in the next video.